You are not ready for this. Not because it's too complex, but because it will expose who you really are beneath the coping. This isn't content, it's a cognitive weapon. It's not designed to motivate you. It's designed to strip you of your false strength, your borrowed beliefs, your emotional excuses masquerading as personality. You've been told that emotional intelligence is softness, connection, awareness, compassion. But that was only half the truth. The real kind. It makes you surgical, unshakable, inhumanly strong. But there's a price. Because once you access this kind of clarity, you don't go back. You don't feel the same. And you don't want to. This system rewires the part of your brain that panics when you're rejected, that shatters when you're betrayed, that folds when the world ignores you. What you'll learn here is not just a brain hack. It's an override command for the weak voice in your head that says, maybe I can't handle this. We will silence that voice, replace it with a new program, one that doesn't beg to be saved, one that becomes the storm. And here's the cold truth. Most people don't survive this process. They chase strength until they realize true strength doesn't feel good, it feels empty. Because you don't react, you calculate, you don't express, you observe. And when you master that state, the human parts of you will scream. They will beg to be felt again. But you will look at them and say, not now. There's a war to win. This isn't a transformation. This is a deletion of every identity that flinched under pressure, of every habit built in fear, of every apology that came from weakness. This is the new voice. I do not seek peace. I build it. I do not run from pain. I reprogram it. I do not wait for permission. I delete the question. This isn't a pep talk. This is a psychological override. Stay or don't watch at all. Because by the time you finish this video, you will either walk away numb or rise with a brain so sharp it scares even you. Choose. Now, part 1, Neuro Warfare Protocol. What you're about to learn is not mental health. It's mental armor. A dark system designed to fracture emotional fragility and weaponize your mind under fire. These are not tactics for peace. These are drills for psychological war. Drill 1, Emotional Null Zone. This tactic turns emotional chaos into tactical calm. When you're triggered, your limbic system hijacks clarity. Emotions flood, logic drowns. The null zone freezes this sequence. It forces a break between feeling and reaction, rewiring your instinct into stillness. 3 times a day, pick micro trigger moments: rejection, disrespect, humiliation. When it hits, you freeze. No facial twitch, no retaliation. Hold the silence like a blade. Don't escape it, study it. Outcome: you no longer react to offense. You profile it, catalog it, then counter-attack with choice, not emotion. You don't break, you calculate. Drill 2. Cortisol overdrive visualization. This tactic creates pre-programmed responses to high stress collapse. Brain can't fully distinguish imagined stress from real. Use this glitch. Visualize traumatic scenarios while calm. You build mental reps. When reality hits, you don't freeze, you deploy. Daily, pick your pain point: public shame, betrayal, abandonment. Visualize the worst. In the storm, see the stoic version of you standing unbroken. Feel the cortisol, then stand still. Outcome: you train your mind to walk into chaos like it's home. You become bulletproof through rehearsal. Drill 3, the dopamine denial loop. This tactic erases emotional addiction to validation. You are chemically programmed to obey dopamine. Approval, attention, relief. Deny it, and the brain panics. Control it, and the brain submits. Pick one dopamine loop to starve for 7 days. No checking messages, no compliments, no reactive scrolling. Silence the stimulus. Sit in the void. Outcome: you unhook your worth from feedback. You no longer chase applause. You become the drug, not the addict. Drill 4, repetition under duress. This tactic forges unbreakable internal code. Words said under stress sink deeper than affirmations whispered in calm. Under pressure, the mind searches for an anchor. You build that anchor. Pick a phrase. I don't break. Pain sharpens. I am the weapon. Repeat it only in chaos, during physical pain, anxiety spikes, emotional collapse. Outcome: the phrase becomes instinct, the instinct becomes programming, the programming becomes you. Drill 5, the stillness override. This tactic forces your nervous system to obey discipline over panic. Psychological breakdown in panic: breath shortens, vision narrows, thoughts fracture. Stillness overrides the fight-flight loop. It regains command of the autonomic system through force. Execution instructions in high-stress moments: plant your feet, hands behind back, chest still, eyes fixed. Breathe in for 4, hold for 4, exhale 6. No phone twitch, no escape. Outcome: your body no longer responds to fear. You command it like a machine. You become the controller, not the creature. This isn't therapy. This is psychological combat training. You are not here to cope. You're here to convert pain into protocol. Each of these drills doesn't make you calm. They make you unbreakable. They don't numb emotion. They force it to kneel. Because strength isn't found in stillness. It's forged in storms. And now you are becoming the storm. Part 2. The fallout layer. Every power has a pulse. Every weapon leaves a scar. The stronger the mind, the quieter the damage. Warning 1. Strength that forgets its roots. When you stop feeling, you start forgetting. There's a silence that comes with strength. At first, it's peace. Then it becomes amnesia. When you master the art of emotional override, something else begins to fade. Not pain, but memory. Not weakness, but identity. You forget what it was like to cry at night with no one answering. You forget the shaking hands, the cracked voice, the version of you that crawled. And in that forgetting, you lose the bridge between who you were and who you became. You no longer recognize the old pain, so you stop recognizing others in pain. You become the thing you once needed: unshakable, unreadable, unreachable. This is the first cost of inhuman strength. You no longer recognize the human in you. Warning 2. The predator's mirror. Once you taste the ability to detach, to observe without feeling, to control a room without lifting a voice, you start using it. At first, it's survival, then it's sport. You realize how easy it is to manipulate emotion when you're no longer under its influence. You begin reading people like software, cracking their defenses like locks. You speak less, but every word becomes a scalpel. You smile less, but every glance becomes strategy. And slowly and visibly, you start treating people not as souls, but as systems. You don't mean to become cruel. You just get efficient. But the truth is, power without vulnerability is not clarity. It's coldness disguised as control. And if left unchecked, that coldness becomes your new language. You won't even notice when people stop connecting with you, because you stop being someone they could reach. You thought you were building dominance, but you were becoming a shadow with a mouth. Warning 3. The fortress that becomes a tome. If nothing can break you, nothing can reach you. When you become unbreakable, the world applauds. But behind closed doors, something else begins to rot. You no longer share pain because no one would understand. You no longer ask for help because you don't need it. You no longer allow softness because softness was a former version of you, one that died and won't be resurrected. And so you build walls. High, cold, impenetrable. You become safe, but not alive. You become powerful, but not connected. You become the protector, but no one stands beside you. And here's the cruel irony. You wanted strength to escape isolation, but strength in excess is isolation. You stand at the top of your mental fortress, and there's no sound, no touch, no warmth, only echo. You didn't kill the weakness. You buried the humanity. There is a price to becoming this strong. The pain doesn't vanish. It transforms into distance, into judgment, into armor that no longer comes off. You will feel more capable, but less reachable. You will win more, but wonder if you ever feel again. This is the shadow side of the upgrade. Power makes you feared, but without balance, it makes you forgotten. Part 3, the recalibration protocol. You've built the armor, now sharpen the soul. Strength without self-awareness is just evolution without direction. These 5 protocols prevent the beast from eating the builder. 1. Control the emotion. Keep the signal, you killed the chaos. Good, but don't kill the message. Emotion isn't the enemy. Obedience to it is. Learn to feel the storm without being dragged into it. Anger isn't weakness. It's an alarm. Fear isn't failure. It's a sensor. They are messengers, not masters. Listen, decode, redirect. The new rule is simple: feel everything, obey nothing. That's command. 2. Be ruthless with the world, gentle somewhere. You can't be hard everywhere and expect to stay whole. Every predator needs a den. Every assassin needs a silence. Reserve one space where the blade is lowered, not for others, for yourself. A journal, a person, a moment. One breath in the chaos where you're not strategy, your soul. That softness is not surrender, it's preservation. 3. Don't become what you escaped from. You left manipulation. Don't become it. You fled control. Don't enforce it. This is the paradox of power. You either use it to protect others from what you were, or you become the echo of the trauma you survived. Write it down. I will not become my enemy wearing my own face. Ruthlessly check your motives, not what you do. Why? 4. Build a personal code and obey it when strength peaks. Impulse becomes temptation. Your emotions won't stop you. No one will check you, so you must build the law inside. Rules forged in clarity, unbreakable under pressure. Examples: I do not manipulate for validation. I never punish for pain. If I fake love, I erase it. That code becomes your leash, not to tame you, but to keep the wolf facing the right direction. 5. Connect with people who don't fear your power. Most will shrink around your silence. Some will try to fix you. Few will see you and not flinch. These people are rare. Respect them. Keep them close. They remind you that strength isn't just isolation. It's influence without domination. You don't need the crowd. You need the mirror that reflects both your edge and your essence. That's the last fortress, not built of walls, but of real recognition. Outro: the monster you chose to carry. You rewired your instincts. You silenced the noise. You became what most fear to become: unshakable, unbreakable, unreachable. But here's the paradox: power that can't be challenged slowly forgets why it was needed. Strength that never bends eventually forgets how to feel. This wasn't about becoming a machine. It was about building one and choosing when to turn it off. You mastered emotional detachment. Now master presence. You learned how to dominate your mind. Now learn when to release it. Don't let control become your coffin. Don't let discipline become your prison. Don't let silence swallow the last whisper of your soul. Because monsters aren't born from power. They're born when power forgets its purpose. The final battle is not against weakness. It's against the temptation to stop caring altogether. So carry your edge like a sword, but sheath it where love lives. Walk into rooms with dominance, but don't forget to see who's already inside them. You don't have to kill the human to awaken the predator. You just have to remind both who they serve. You became strong. Now become precise. Not just untouchable, undeniable. And when they ask what made you this way, just smile. You chose to become the monster, but you also chose to carry it without letting it carry you.